just get started. We know you guys will come into the room. So I always like to introduce what we are drinking. Again, we have a Michigan wine here today. So this is our Michigan wine that we are sipping on for our Unwind Friday. It's a red sangria. This wine is really good, y'all. It's 12%. It's not too bitter. It's not too sweet.
It's actually considered a sweet wine that's on the back. Because if they ever want to read wine, usually on the back of wines, it'll tell you like if it's sweet, semi, or dry.
Yes. So, but this is a really good wine. Thank you for the gift. Hello. If you're looking for a good wine, this is a Michigan wine. And it's a really good wine. So, welcome to Unwind Friday, everybody. We are going to go ahead and get started.
And we have one viewer on Facebook. Hello.
So we are right
Hey, Charlotte, how are you?
So, right now we are live on TikTok and we are live on Facebook. So let me bring y'all in. You guys already know it is your girl, Lisa Black. As always, bringing you the heat, little street. But y'all know how it is, and I'll let her introduce herself today.
And hi, I am Marie. I am a certified life and health coach, bringing you the tools, leaving you with some tools that you can leave with today that can help you if you're, struggling with any of the topics that we bring. We also ask that you guys leave topics that you would like us to, give you some tools on or resources. If we don't have the information for them, all the information you need for them, we can get you the resources.
So tonight, guys, our topic is going to be signs of high functioning anxiety. So I came across this topic and I was like, you know what, this is a perfect topic because a lot of the people that I know, myself included, we have some form of anxiety. So the first thing is going to talk about the signs of it and ways that you can identify if you are suffering from signs of high functioning anxiety. And then hopefully we can talk and work out some tools that you can help to mellow those things out and balance those things out so that you are more functional in your everyday life.
I would like to first say that we are not therapists or psychiatrists, so we will not give you any information on that level. We're going to give you holistic tools that can help you. Some of us who suffer from anxiety might need medication. That is something that I can't refer to you, but I can refer to you if you're in our area, local psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors, things like that. So I first would like to say that I am a life coach, but not a psychologist. So I won't tell you to go take this medicine, but I will give you holistic tools and just tools that I know that will work.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this topic because our goal is for this to be engaging, it to be helpful.
Hello, Mary.
And so that you can leave with some tools that will help you on this topic. So here we go. One of the signs that you could, thank you for the gifts on TikTok. So one of the signs that may show in high functioning anxiety is on the surface, you appear to be successful and calm, but on the inside, you struggle intensively. So basically what that looks like is like those people who look like they got it all together, right? They're successful. Then you like, how do they do it? How are they balancing these things? But on the inside, they're like, oh my God, how am I balancing all of this? How am I dealing with all of this? And they're trying to, get that stuff together and work it out. That can be a sign of high functioning anxiety. So welcome to the room. And then the next one is going to be, I'm going to let Marie tell you guys.
You procrastinate, followed by periods of high pressure of crunch time work. So anxiety can be a sign of procrastination. You knowing you have to do something, but your anxiety crushing you to the point where you have to slow down. You have some type of fear of finishing that goal, because some of us have goals, but we also have a fear of what does that look like when I get to that goal,
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes, y'all, some of us just procrastinate because we do. But it's interesting, right, to think like, is that a sign of anxiety, me procrastinating? Because for me, I always say I feel like I work better under pressure. Like I procrastinate till I got like a few hours or so to get something done, and then crunch time. And I just feel like I operate a little better than that. But to find out that could be a sign of anxiety, it's like, wow.
And one thing she knows that I always tell her, anything you do under pressure causes stress. So it takes our body from a healing state to a stress state to the flight, fight state. And even though some people think that's okay, it's not okay, because stress causes all different types of harm to our body, like high blood pressure. I mean, it really goes deep into what stress might cause. So go ahead, Melissa, because I don't want to get too deep into that.
So then the next sign of high functioning anxiety, you rather overwork yourself than to say no. Sometimes no can be a hard thing to say to people that we care about. We want to look like that star worker. Sometimes we're working towards goals and we want them to know that we're good workers, strong workers. We're going to get it done. But did you know that can be a sign of high functioning anxiety?
And sometimes people overwork to calm the feeling of anxiety.
Yeah.
So you will overwork to calm the anxiousness that you feel, so you don't have to deal with certain things. Some people overwork not to deal with. Yeah. If you get what I'm saying. If you don't, comment and let us know so I can go deeper into it.
Right. So to bring in the audience, we on 2 platforms. What are some things that what are some signs that you feel before you realize, man, like right now my anxiety is high, or I have anxiety?
Some emotions.
Or have you ever, or did you know you have anxiety? Have you felt something that's like, you know what, I feel something, but I'm not sure what it is? Because sometimes that can be anxiety. And those different things could be things that cause you to have anxiety.
Charlotte, I see you said that's me. Which part is you?
Welcome everybody. Which part is you? So the next one, Marika is going to read another sign of high functioning anxiety.
So another sign of high functioning anxiety is you feel like you're not doing enough. Often you feel like you're not doing enough. Even though you're doing the best you can, you always feel like something is missing. I didn't do enough. Like you feel like what is wrong? Is something missing? That's anxiety. If you check all your checks off, your check boxes off, and know you did everything, and you still have that feeling of incompletion of, I didn't do something right, or I didn't do something, that's anxiety right there.
Yes. And anxiety, y'all, is it's one of those things that's so powerful because it can be crippling. It can stop you from doing things. It can make you do things that you would not do. Like, anxiety is one of those things that a lot of people do not know about. What you said, I know I have anxiety, but some people, it's better at running from it than facing it. You know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes it do feel like it's better to run from that anxiety than to face it. But honestly, it's not, because
you're always running.
You always running, and you always find that thing keep hitting you. I think the best way to deal with anxiety is to face that thing head on, to say, okay, something is going on. If you feel like you can't handle it by yourself, then it's time to go get help. It's time to bring in those professionals, bring in those people that are licensed to help you with that, because I found myself running from anxiety, y'all. I'm like, you know what? I got this. All the way until I did not have it. So I got somebody that want to come in on TikTok. We're going to let them in. I'm going to have a DJ that's going to come in and party. So we're on 2 different platforms. And we are talking about anxiety. So we are, thank you for joining.
Por el centro, así ven.
Give me a second. I gotta figure out how to move this stuff. Somebody down on the floor. Okay, go ahead. So, like I said, the last one we talked about, you feel like you're often feel like you are not doing enough. Some people just feel incomplete when you go home.
And then the next one is you feel physically unsettled when you in routine or disrupted. So I'll give you an example of how sometimes you go out to parties and you feel like, not parties, but you know how you go around people and when you leave, you feel like I did something wrong. You feel disrupted. You feel like, what did I do wrong? Did I say anything wrong? Did I do anything wrong?
The wrong thing.
All right, y'all, we are back.
You feel that way. So I'm sorry, Andrea. That was what happened. We're on two different
we on two different platforms
on TikTok. Somebody asked to come in. We thought it was somebody who wanted to come in to talk about the subject, but it was actually a DJ, and he was partying, and we
gotta be careful with adding people in, y'all.
Yeah.
So back to our topic, which was high functioning anxiety. So we apologize to everybody. I thought he was somebody who wanted to chime in on this topic, but he was a DJ and he wanted to party, so I do apologize for that.
So like I was saying, the next one is that sometimes you feel deeply unsettled when you're in routine or disrupted. And I was giving you guys an example of, you know how sometimes you go out to socialize and you have a good time, but then when you get home, you feel like, did I say the wrong thing? Did I talk too much?
Yeah.
You just feel unsettled. That is anxiety.
And that happens, and you know what? Sometimes you feel like you overthinking, and that happens all the time because that brain, or like you say, critter brain, is like, man, did I mess that up? What is they thinking? And the whole time it's just anxiety. That person probably hadn't even thought about you after that moment. So, yes. So the next thing was this the one you?
Yeah. That's
okay.
I finished right there.
Give me 1 second. So again, y'all, the question is, what emotions do you go through before you realize that you're suffering from anxiety, or do you suffer from anxiety? And if you are a person who has suffered from anxiety, you have overcame the anxiety, what did you do? Did you go get help from a professional? Did you just find a way to mellow those things out? How did that work out for you?
Or I would like to say is, because there's there is all types of anxiety, right? Today we're talking about how high functioning anxiety. You have general anxiety where you just generally have anxiety over things, something that I deal with. And then you have what we all call high functioning, and there's other types of anxiety. Since Ray said she went and got her some meds because she realized that she was functioning off of high functioning anxiety.
Wow. And she said she joined the gym. That is awesome. A lot of people
somebody else said they joined the gym.
That's an awesome way
we
to
have
burn
somebody
that.
on TikTok who said they joined the gym. Now, a gym is good for anxiety because it burns off energy.
Yeah.
So it kind of relaxes you and settle everything down. But other things that can help with anxiety. So I have a technique that I do with my clients. It's called the 5-5-7, you guys. So you inhale for 5, you hold for 5, and you exhale for 5. And what this does is take your body from the fight, flight state to back to a healing state. And so it calms your body, and you do that 10 times, which is about 2 minutes. No matter what situation you're in, you can be in a tough situation at work. Just heard some bad news while driving, or any situation. It's something that you can do anywhere to take your body from that fight flight mode to get you back in a healing state. And it's called the 5-5-7. So I would like for you guys to try that with me just one time. I would like for you guys to just go ahead and inhale with me for 5, and I'm gonna count for you. So go ahead and do it now. Inhale for 5. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it for 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now somebody comment, how did that make you feel? Usually when you do that about 10 times, you feel light, you feel relaxed, you can refocus your mind. The anxiety, the feeling of anxiety is gone, and you can think clearly after you do that, after you refocus yourself. That was awesome. I'm happy that you like that. Yeah. That is something that I practice. And in every session that I do, when I start a session and I end a session, I always start off with my client taking deep breaths in and out to clear their mind from anything so that they can have a clear thought when we're going through things and working through things. And before we end, they inhale and they exhale so they can leave feeling relaxed and free. Because breathing sends oxygen, it gets the blood flowing, and it gets the oxygen flowing through your body. Go ahead.
Guys, did you know anxiety was hereditary? People who have a family history of people with anxiety tends to have a higher chance of having anxiety. And that's something that I did not know until I dove into this topic, and I'm like, wow, to know that is hereditary is crazy. So thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it.
And thank you
for the gift.
Yes.
So yes, that could be hereditary, and you can be exposed to negative things that can cause you to have anxiety.
Traumas.
They said also being sensitive, like being in situations that have you highly hypersensitive, can start to cause anxiety. And I feel like that was one of my triggers growing up, because we always played games with each other and people would hide behind things and jump out and scare you. And I found myself in a situation where I'm always waiting to turn that corner, waiting for somebody to jump out and scare me or startle me. And then I realized it built anxiety. So now I started expecting that thing. And then when we get into the season of like Halloween, I found out that was one of my trigger times, because then we get all into the ghosts and the goblins. And growing up in our households, y'all know, my family who's on here, y'all know how that was being in the Christian household, how they're like, you know, the door blow open from the wind. They're like, in the name of Jesus. and you're like, oh my God, what just happened? So it was some of those things that triggered that high anxiety in my life as an adult that I found myself dealing with. And when I could no longer deal, I want to say this because this is important, because a lot of us, especially in our community, we don't take mental health as serious, or we don't think we need help for mental health. So when I felt like I could no longer deal or handle that, I went to somebody. I went to my doctor and said, hey, I dealt with this as long as I can. It has become too much for me to deal with. I have gotten to a point in my life where I know I cannot manage it alone. I need some help. And I was able to get help. So always remember, it's nothing wrong with getting help. It's nothing.
You don't have to be ashamed. I had somebody who told me, so if I go get help, that's not going to mean I'm crazy. No, and you might be, we all crazy, y'all. Everybody's got some sort of craziness, you know. Some of us won't admit it, but some of them too good. But I'm not. I admit my craziness with joy, so other people are open enough to say, "Yeah, I'm crazy too." Yeah, you know what, girl? But I always tell people, no, it doesn't mean if you need help, you need help. Self-love is accepting help. Look, you crazy? Yes, you're crazy. We all crazy.
And this was one I wanted to address. I think you came in right after we just did a breathing technique. She said, what breathing techniques can you recommend for anxiety? It was one she said it was called
It's called the 5-5-7. So you inhale for 5. And you count to 5 in your mind, and you exhale for 5. Hold it. I'm saying that wrong. Sorry. You inhale for 5, you hold it for 5, and then you exhale for 7. And you do that 10 times. And that's about 2 minutes, no matter where you're at, no matter where you're feeling anxious. And that'll take you from the fight-flight state to a relaxing, healing state. Take you back to a healing state. And no matter, because another thing, you guys, when you're in flight or fight mode in stress, your body cannot function correctly. Your digestive system can't work properly. Nothing works properly when you're in that high anxiety state. So it's important to do breathing. That is something holistic that you can do that will get you back right in 2 minutes. I promise you guys can write me and tell me, do this every day. Do this, because if you want to practice it so it becomes a habit, so that when you're starting to feel stressed at work, starting to feel stressed with your kids, with your partner, that you're able, nobody even know don't even have to know that you're doing it. That you're taking yourself from a stress state back to a healing state, and you're going to be feeling, it makes you feel so light.
Diet too, yes.
Yeah, diets do matter. Yeah, it does. That's true.
And another thing, guys, did you know that health conditions such as thyroid issues can play a part in anxiety? It is so many things that plays a part.
Or a pituitary tumor.
Yeah.
I have a pituitary tumor. And the pituitary gland is a gland that is our main gland for hormones, that shoot out hormones. So I found out about it one time because I just filled up with milk, you guys, and I hadn't had a baby in a while, but my breast filled up like I had just delivered a baby. and I found that I had a pituitary tumor, so I had to take pills for it to shrink it, because that can mess with your hormones and cause anxiety and depression. So it is like the thyroid and things like that.
Yes. So it's just all those different things that we didn't know that can contribute to anxiety. And it's important to know there is more than one type of anxiety. Your anxiety may very well be different from the next person's anxiety.
Or you could be dealing with all of them.
Yeah, or you can, very much so. You can have generalized anxiety disorder. You can have a panic disorder.
And panic disorders can make you feel like you're having a heart attack when you're actually having a panic attack from anxiety. And that's when breathing really comes in.
Yes. And then there are people who are who have social anxiety disorders, and then there are phobias as well that can cause a discomfort.
She has a phobia.
I have a phobia.
I know I might be wrong for this, but sometimes I send her things with a lot of holes on it.
Why, please don't. Why do you even mention it?
Like she has a phobia, of like beehives and things like that.
Very, very scary. Yes, it can be scary, but guys, it is manageable. It is people out here who's trained, who specialize, who can help you with this. So that's why we want to bring you these topics. This is our Unwind Friday. We try to bring you topics. It's meant to be engaging. It's meant to be helpful. It's meant to have you thinking. And it's meant for you to
help you identify some things you might be going through and you didn't recognize what it was, or help you be more, not be ashamed of if you're going through it, because we're all going through something. Even though I'm a certified life and host coach, I had to deal with anxiety. I actually suffer with trichotillomania. If anybody know what that is a condition where you pluck your hair. And it's an anxiety, and it's a part of the OCD family too. So I'm not. I used to be ashamed of it because I don't have any eyelashes. I have false eyelashes on now, but I don't have any eyelashes because I do that with anxiety. But I'm not ashamed anymore, because my testimony, me being open and real to people, help people deal with it. I learned that I wasn't the only person like that. Even though I learned it in college, I'm like, oh, what, is more people like me? I'm not just a weirdo.
And you'll be surprised.
You'd be surprised. And I'm like, I found out I didn't even know what it was. I just thought like, I'm just this crazy person. Why am I doing this? And then I found out that it's actually a condition, that it's more people in the world like me, that I don't have to be ashamed, that I can tell people about it. And that there isn't nothing you can really do about it but learn like holistic treatments for it to try to help yourself, which I did, because I'm not one of the ones who pluck all my hair on my head. I've been able to bring it down to just the eyelashes, Hopefully one day with me keep on managing it, I can be done with that. But thank God for fake eyelashes. They wearing them anyway.
And another thing I found that helped me with my anxiety is to refocus your attention. If that trigger comes up or that thing come up in your mind, because most time anxiety, it's a liar. It's telling you something that's going to happen that has never happened, that never will probably happen.
Oh, yeah.
So refocusing your attention is like, let's say that trigger come up right suddenly, and I always find myself saying, okay, I'm going to read a book, or deep breaths, and yoga helps too, because I like yoga. So yoga helps too. And some of the other things that's associated with anxiety that you may not even know is excessive anxiety or worry on most days, or for at least 6 months. If you're worrying all the time, almost every day, that's probably anxiety. Restlessness, you can't sleep, you can't relax, you got to constantly move, you got to constantly do something. That's probably anxiety. Difficulty concentrating, you can't focus on one thing because your brain is going wild or whatever it is. That's probably anxiety. Being easily fatigued.
And that is one that a lot of people who deal with anxiety, you're easily fatigued. You feel like people drain you. Doing activities exhaust you, mental exhaustion, and then drain you. So you guys, like I said, because we do have toddlers, we always have a toddler pop up. So we do have toddlers around, so there will be a kid or two pop up every now and then.
So we're keeping this all the way real.
They've been really good
so
today.
No, to answer your question, I don't know if it's for her or for me, but no, I don't have ADD. And not her either. At least not diagnosed.
At least that we know of.
But it is a lot of things that are associated with that feels in that may cause it. And again, like you said, that ADD can be a trigger, or it could be the opposite. You really never know. But that's a good question for if you have any type of counselor or doctor, to ask them, do those things coincide with each other? Irritability. I have found all the time, 9 times out of 10, when my anxiety is high, I don't know until I'm irritated. I'm snapping constantly. I find myself mad for no reason. And I'm like, go sit down to my kids, or leave me alone to this, or I don't want to talk to nobody. And then when I think about it, I'm anxious. Something is scaring me. Something that I don't want to think about. And that's part of my anxiety. So irritability, you want to?
And I would like to say something, because irritability is just another main one, because I see it, me working in the school, that students panic and they start to just act. And because of who I am, I do have a background in psychology too, and I'm a certified. I have a degree in psychology, and being a coach, I do notice it. So I always tell my student, it's going to be okay. Just calm down. It's all about recentering yourself, you guys. If you guys take the time to recenter yourself, then you can really help yourself in that time. And breathing is one way you can recenter yourself. Breathing and meditation. And if you don't have time to meditate, breathing, the 5-5-7 will get you there.
Yes. And one of the questions is, how do you come back from it? When I find myself in that state of irritability, I first try to refocus my attention. I'll try to do some breathing. Or I'll try to listen to some things that relax me, because we don't know, a lot of us don't know, but social media sometimes can trigger anxiety. I find things that does not cause a response for me. So word games are one of those things that I play, because I know that I can play that. I don't have to engage in it. It's just something that's not going to be high anxiety trigger. I find channels like the Weather Channel or Hallmark, because even though it's corny and I know how it's going to end, it's not going to be a sudden jump for me, or something that's not going to come out and it's going to cause me to be anxious. So I find things like that. I can tell you guys,
so today in the coaching I do group coaching sometime. I did this game called Mindfulness, teaching these it was some youngest 8th grade, 7th graders. I'm teaching them to be mindful. So being mindful. And one of the things that I have them doing is sit in quietness. And I had a chime, a chime, the wind chime. Wind chimes can be very relaxing. And even if you don't have one at home when the wind blowing, you can play it on YouTube. When I tell you, if you sit and let a wind chime play, it's like, they couldn't believe it today when I did it for them. Wow. And it mellowed down kids.
I feel like it's funny you said that, because my husband, he wants the wind chime so bad, and I'm
and it's very relaxing.
I can't take it.
And it could be something that you can't take. Wow. That's why you have to find something that centers you.
A question: how many times do you recommend meditation? For me, I honestly say anytime you need it. There is not a number of times.
Well, one thing about it, if you suffer with anxiety, most of the time if you suffer with anxiety, you suffer with insomnia. So meditation is a good thing for probably like an hour before you go to bed. I have some meditation links I can give you. I like the ones with scriptures, but if you're not like a spiritual person, it's different types of meditations you can do. I like to do meditations that where they just, you guys, I love narrators. Like literally anything with narrators, somebody narrating something can comfort me.
Yes.
And I can meditate on somebody narrating something. So I do meditations where it's a person narrating and just reading these scriptures out the Psalms, the book of Psalms. And it is so comforting, and it helps me go to sleep at night. So I would say at night or right before any time that you know that you might feel anxiousness.
And so another one of the things is muscle tension and sleep problems. Since we were talking about sleep problems, routine. I would say an hour before bed, you start a routine. Now you're getting your body calm, you're getting your body ready, and you're starting to calm down. Even if it's with your children. For me, I read to my children, I put them to bed, we say a prayer, and then I know it's time. My body starts to mellow down, because now my body knows it's time for you to relax. You have some you time, and I start playing my word games because I get off of Facebook, I log off Instagram, because those are things that sometimes can trigger your anxiety and you don't even know, because somebody wrote you or somebody wrote on your page, or you see something that you feel like requires a response from you. So I log off all those things that require a response from me. I start to do word, like I said, word games for me is relaxing. Golden Girls at night is relaxing for me, Hallmark, so that's one of my things. So routine. Start you a bedtime routine, and that is most likely help you get
and
into
not
that
only
zone.
a bedtime routine. Most of the time, people with anxiety, routine is always good for anybody who suffer with anxiety. A good routine and balance. Trying to make things balance in your life. Because, you know, the reality I'm going to tell you one main thing that can really help you. Not always leaving margin for that something can happen. Because what happens is when we always think that everything can run perfect, we don't prepare ourselves for error. Mm-hmm. And that can really trigger people with anxiety and send them just off the rocket, or especially the ones who have panic attacks and things like that. So you want to always be able, and one main thing I want to say, you guys, that's going to help you with anxiety is breathing. I'm telling you. So that's one main thing outside of medication. Now, if you have some real bad anxiety, medication will help.
Yeah,
like we had someone comment and said they had to get medication.
Yes.
It's not a shame to get medication. You don't even have to tell nobody. If you're a person who's not ashamed, you can tell somebody, just like she was not ashamed that she went and got med, and she's happy. And she just was like, one day I was talking to her and she was like, I don't even know why I didn't get angry or upset about this situation. And it was because she got medicine for her anxiety, so she was able to function at a normal, where she didn't just go off because she thought everything was going to crumble because of one mistake. So you guys, we're at our time and we don't wrap up because we don't want to go too long.
Yeah, so we can talk all day with you guys. I'm so happy for all the people who said you guys helped me. I'm glad I found you guys. We are glad you found us as well. We come on every Friday. We have changed our time to 8 p.m. Eastern time for the people who may be in different countries or different time zones. And also, we want you guys to drop topics in the comments, because we will touch on that topic if something is bothering you, if something is exciting you, if something you just want to touch on. We'll go on, we'll do the research for you, and we will talk about that topic with you. So, have a wonderful one. She said, please don't go. We hate to leave you.
But we don't want to make it too long, you guys.
We will be back here next Friday for our Unwind Friday, guys. I am Lissa. This is Marie.
And before you go, I always like to leave an action step.
Yes.
So your action step for this week is to practice the 5-5-7. That is how you come back from anxiety, from any situation. Anytime somebody upsets you, you have 2 minutes. You could go to the bathroom for 2 minutes. You could turn around for 2 minutes and not say nothing to somebody and do breathing techniques. Do the 5-5-7. So you inhale for 5, you hold it for 5, and then you exhale for 7. Practice that this week, and I promise you, you'll feel good, and it'll help you be able to practice it when you get to those high anxiety places or those times in your life. We love you guys. Good night.
We will see you next Friday. Have a great evening, guys. Thank you for joining us.